we have one focus in mind, which is to use the energies, anything and everything that can give us an insight and a perspective on where we are at and where we are guided to get to. The heart, the tip of the arrow, which breaks through the dense energy of the three-dimensional world, physical world in which we live. And that heart alignment is the guidance that tells us where we are supposed to go, and just unravel the layers until we break through that physical reality into something that is real for us. Trying to work with our gifts to create a real life definition of how we can express ourselves. How do we want to express ourselves in a proactive, constructive, step-by-step manner? If you're interested in joining the group, you can go to my patreon.com account. So thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to make your comments, create a discussion. We will take your questions and we will merge them with the energies of the group. I had a dream 2 nights ago. When I woke up from the dream, it happens to me a lot, I bring the energies of the dream. Not just the visual and the memories, the energy. So the energy stays with me in suspension all day. And will ask my bodies to process it. And at that moment, it's like having currents up and down. And when I have these currents, I can't concentrate on anything because it's like I'm being broken into many places. Like if you put a very high vibration and shatters a glass, are like dislodging, that's the word, something. And what is dislodging is lower energy or lower vibration that are equivalent to patterns and thoughts that are old and do not allow me to continue on my progression higher or forward. My dream was a metaphorical meaning to dislodge something that was of a low vibration and not nice in my life. And as I worked through the feelings and the synonyms, I came to the conclusion that it was lack of self-validation. I think we all have it at some point and at some level. And it can be translated as lack of self-worth, lack of self-regard, lack of self-love, lack of value. And it's not even to do with anything and anybody, it's us with us. So something in our psyche when we were little or from a previous life stays with us, holding us back, allowing us to work until the edge of the pushing. And when pushing no longer works, then we need to start accepting. And when we start accepting, then we're able to resolve. And then that energy comes into our conscious mind. And in that conscious mind, we can start working through it and shifting it. I used to work through Raven a lot. So Raven is your shadow self. I used to go like fishing into the shadow, into the hidden, into the quiet, into the black stuff, into the things you don't want to look at. One chunk at a time, and bring it out and work with it, write it down in my diary, talk about it to myself, feel it, write it, read it, and mold it, until suddenly, bang, the coin turns around and your dark side bunch or little chunk that you fished out from the void became light, a clear idea. With that comes the processing of the forgiveness, the anger, the realization, all the emotions that come with it. And I used to do that again and again and again for 23 years. And now I do it, but it's not so often because I just clear so much of the base once every 6 months or 4 months, something, but it's really, really intense. So that's what I describe. It is like a language. At the beginning, when you're learning the language, everything that you learn is a big step. And at the end, when you're perfecting the language, it takes a long time to create a little shift. So that's why I call it the spiritual language and so on. I came to the conclusion that there is a point of lack of self-validation, but the quickening and the fast energy is dislodging the lower energy, so that you can accrue in your DNA higher vibration, because your DNA is, you can mold it, you can work with it. And DNA is the basics of all the languages, all the human languages. So language is a mirror of DNA. So anything that we do in life is a mirror of the DNA. So every subject, mathematics, geology, physics, chemistry, is a vision or a perspective or a language of the natural world or the world at large and the cosmos, with a pattern, set of patterns in your mind. And this is why I think Spirit said to me 3 months ago, we no longer want you to look at your metaphysics through your languages. We want you to look at your languages through your metaphysics. I think they want me to turn it around and start finding in the logicalness of languages the meaning of energy, spirit, and so on. At this stage is very innovative in my mind because it's very new for me, and I haven't seen anything online apart from maybe wave linguistics. I get lost. The book I wanted to read is in German. They haven't translated it, so I'm there a little bit, but I'm holding it. And this week threw me into that direction. So something I was doing that was holding me for my highest dream, which was research and investigate the connection of languages and DNA and energy, meant that I had to dislodge a lack of self-belief that maybe I could do it, or I should do it, or I need to do it, or is it going to be me who's going to do it? By running away, I said to Spirit, don't give me any dreams like this anymore. I've had a few, thank you very much, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to go to the bottom of the pit and clean it. And clean it wherever, because I can't live with dreams like that. They stay in my mind for years. Because I'm so visual. Thank the Lord, I'm not clairvoyant. I'm clairaudient, claircognizant, and clairsentient. But I can't be clairvoyant because I could not live. I have to go to a lunatic asylum because those images are playing in me all day yesterday. That is when you are an energy translator. It's not an easy job. I do the work so that then others benefit from the results. I do all the molding, all the cooking, all the putting it together so that decode it and readjust it and scribe it again, put it together so that people can be fed little spoonfuls so that they can digest it and understand it. The whole consciousness of the universal mind, all the darkness and the dirt and the low energies and the hatred and all those things come together, and I have to transmute it. I don't know if you can relate to it at a maybe another level, at a more manageable level, not so up there, big time level. For me, it's wonderful to understand consciously what's happening, because then I can actually allow the processing. Your parallel nervous system, your etheric nervous system becomes stronger. Your physical nervous system becomes stronger. Your mind, your psychic becomes stronger, which is all about healing the earth. Because I did say to the earth, I will listen to you through your children, which is your animal totems, and I will listen to you through your energies. And like other people who may not be listening, I promise you that I will be listening and I will be working with you. And when you make a promise or you make a pact or you make an agreement, it becomes your destiny. So I could have much worse destinies. I like it, but as I say, there's so much going on the earth, on the planet, but that's why I have Badger, and Badger is the storyteller, and I always get metaphors and visuals in my mind when I'm talking. So I pass on the visual. If people don't get the words, they get the feeling and the emotion and the story behind it. Those first 10 years, I was crying buckets and suffering and going all the workshops and doing training and Reiki master and life coaching, etc. And I was going, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I know I have to do it. I don't know what this means, but I know this is the right path and I have to follow. I don't know if I'll ever understand what is happening or if I'm going to achieve anything worthwhile for me, but I know I need to go this way follow it, stick with it, and allow it to unravel. The feeling is the language of the spirit, for people to at least get some hope, inspiration, trust, give themselves a chance. They are not going crazy. The feelings and aches and pains and nervous system is all real, but it doesn't have to stay. If we could pass them by, if we can shift our mind, we can shift the body, we can shift our lives. There is a logic to this madness. So if people want to take it from scratch, they can start with a hidden gift and attracting your opportunities. But in the big background, in the big scheme of things, this is what's happening. Not everybody needs to get here or wants to get here. I am a teacher. I am in the process of mastering these energies. That's what I wanted. Will I finish mastering them? I don't know. But I keep going in that direction. There are people who find you, hide under your wing, get protected under your wing and say, lead me there. I want to go there. I don't know how to do it. And that is the place maybe where I'm putting this big tree with the big branches so that people can come underneath, and if there is a storm or rain or wind, they can be protected. And that is the idea.